Now, keeping on the budget, the Finance Minister's policy announcement has resulted in price reduction for several items. After Nirmala Sitharaman's budget for 2025-2026, what becomes cheaper for you and what gets costly? Here are the changes that you should keep an eye on.
The commodities under Modi 3.0's ambitious budget have gone through an overhaul. While affordability has increased for various items, many have also gotten more pricey. First up is life-saving drugs. In a bold announcement, cancer, chronic disease medicines and over 36 life-saving drugs will now be fully exempted from basic custom duties. Electronic goods, including flat panel display, touch glass sheet, touch sensor for LED or LCD TVs, have been reduced from 15 to 5% when it comes to prices. Fish and seafood, along with EV and phone batteries, have also seen a considerable cut, relieving many who rose in cheers at the announcement. This clearly ties in with the economic survey, which noted that food inflation is expected to decrease in the last quarter of financial year 2025. In fact, motorcycle imports have also joined the band. Customs duty on engine capacity not exceeding 1600 cc have been reduced by 40%. Now, on to the items and commodities that may pinch your pocket. From imported knitted fabric to interactive flat display, items in this category are seeing a surge of about 20%. Telecom equipment and plastic products are also among items which will now cost you more. The budget has clearly made certain import items more expensive. Apart from the already listed imported knitted fabric, this also includes imported candles and imported footwear. Now remember, the budget comes in the backdrop of the GDP growth rate projected to fall to 4-year low of 6.4% in the current financial year.
All right, I'm being joined by Shubhrakant Panda, who is former FICCI president. Thank you very much, sir, for speaking to Republic. The budget for 2025 is out. Do you believe and do you feel that this budget is a bonanza for the middle class?
Good evening. Yes, certainly as far as the budget for 25-26 is concerned, I think it is a significant budget which has brought about a large concession for the salaried middle class, as you mentioned. And this is something which is going to put money in the hands of people, 1 lakh crore at that. And that is ultimately going to find its way into the economy, whether by way of investments or by way of consumption. And therefore, it will provide a noticeable boost, which is what I think everybody had been expecting partly. But it's wonderful to see that and see a measure, which it's something which has been carefully thought through, and it's not a half measure. It's a significant jump from 7 lakhs to 12 lakhs being the exemption limit. And as I said, I think it'll provide a noticeable boost to the economy, but as ultimately this money finds its way into investment or consumption.
Right. Mr. Panda, what I also want to know from you is what are your opinions on the new tax regime that the Finance Minister has introduced?
So, over the past several budgets, the Finance Minister has been gently nudging people towards the new tax regime, which, as you know, does away with exemptions, but balances that by having a lower rate. Now, this is something which is a very distinct sort of move to encourage people to the new tax regime. And I think that is the better way, because we are, whether it is in terms of personal taxes or corporate taxes, I think the intent is to ultimately, have the new tax regime being the prevalent one. And that makes life a lot simpler. It is, and especially in line with her comments in the budget speech today, to move towards more trust-based regulation. And she specifically referred to how, taxpayers have repaid that trust in terms of, filing additional income where it was warranted. So I think it's a good move overall.
Right. Shubhrakant Panda, thank you very much for speaking to Republic. Really appreciate you joining us on the broadcast. Former FICCI president there, sharing his views on how he sees the 2025 budget. We are also being joined by PK Basu, who is an economist. PK Basu, thank you very much for speaking to Republic. Your first views on how do you see this budget for the middle class?
Well, it's a bonanza for the middle class, no doubt. It was expected that there would be some relief for the middle class, but what has actually transpired is what can only be called a bazooka of benefits. The substantial reduction in direct tax rates for those going for the new scheme is huge. There's a exemption for all income up to 12.75 lakhs, and in addition, every taxpayer will see a reduction in rates. So this is a huge positive for the middle class, no doubt. Now, apart from that, I'd also like to just keep some focus on the fact that the fiscal deficit is coming down. The fiscal deficit is coming down to 4.4% of GDP. I think in actuality, it'll be even lower than that. Both this year and next year, the numbers are likely to be even better. And I think that this budget provides the wherewithal for exports to really do a lot better going forward. There's substantial benefits to exporters in the form of lower customs duties, and in particular, customs duties for exportables. And basically, India is going to become part of global supply chains much more effectively as a result of the reduced customs duties. And of course, the inversion of duty rates has also been addressed. So a lot has been done on a variety of factors. And in addition, labor-intensive manufacturing is going to get a very substantial boost. So there isn't much not to like about this budget. This is a very positive budget for the medium-term growth outlook.
Right. PK Basu, thank you very much for speaking to Republic and sharing our views on that. For